Hi everybody, welcome to Anti-Ruggers United. Today we have an AMA with MinionVerse. So let's get started by having you guys introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about background, about your history, about your experience in the real world in crypto, and like how you guys got together as a team. How are you involved in this project?
Yeah, sure. All right. So I'm named Duke, and I've been setting up companies for like 10 years now. My first company was mybase.com. You can search it. It's mybaze.com. We actually raised some venture financing for that project. It was an online marketplace for up and coming brands. We had 3,000 sellers there. We did like a 100K USD sales every month. And so the project lasted for 3 years. And then I set up two other companies. One was Ryzen, which was a software agency, 40 people, which I sold. And then there was iMeshup.com, which was a collaboration platform for 3D assets. So that's where, I've met a lot of people in the gaming space. We also met more often with Stan, who's my college friend. Stan is the CEO and founder of Fuero Games, the company that actually made the Winions. And so a couple of months ago, he wanted to bring one of his games into the crypto space. He knew that we launched Alti Arena a year ago. We raised some pre-sale tokens, as well as doing the NFT marketplace. So he said, "Hey, let's partner together, make a game into the crypto space." And then he sold us the license for the Winions, the game. So that was the original name of the game. You can look it up. It was on Steam, it was on App Store, and it was on Play Store. Alti Arena Technologies, private limited company, registered in Singapore, which is a company owned by me and my co-founder Wojciech. We acquired the license, the full license of the game from Fuero Games, and we brought it under MinionVerse name into the crypto space. And so the game is 100% done. Oscar can show the game, the gameplay. I don't think that many crypto projects in this space, they have actual game, even Illuvium or of course Star Atlas. They're doing great, of course, but they don't have actual games to play. We have that, and we are doing the crypto implementation, the blockchain implementation into the game. So that's really short, introduction about us and our project. So go ahead, Oscar.
Hi everyone, my name is Oskar Krzak and I'm operations manager at MinionVerse. My general task and responsibilities are basically taking care of the whole project to make sure that it works fine as it should, from the micromanagement to game development process, including budgeting. I started my crypto journey in 2015 and I met Duke last year. And since then we are working together bringing those projects out. I would like to now share my screen. Duke, could you please turn off your video, because you're gonna take also my transfer, and I'm just gonna go quickly and share here the pre-sale screen, and then I will go into the game. So speaking about the pre-sale, we have our first public pre-sale done at PinkSale. We are super close to close it. The hard cap was reached, the soft cap was reached in about, I don't really remember, but I think it was under 20 minutes. But if somebody remembers this, maybe somebody can correct me. So as you can see, the hard cap for the first pre-sale is 300,000 BUSD, and it's almost 240 right now. What I need to mention is that you need to have BUSD instead of BNB, and also keep some BNB in order to pay for the gas fee. But of course, that will be, let's just say, the super cheap because it's a Binance Smart Chain. Going forward, before I'm gonna go into the game, I want to mention our current running contest. Because we are looking for new players to join our project. We are running currently specific whitelist plus giveaway contest. I believe that's not fully yet updated, but you can basically click on that and you'll be moved into our page. Let me see. It's a contest. Let me type it, contest.minionverse.ao. I just open it up. 1 second. Let me just screen share that. And there are super simple steps to get inside, because what you need to do is just basically follow here the rules. As you can see, there's more than 3,000 users entered the contest. First thing, what you can win from here is you're gonna get the beta access to the game, and second thing is, which most people care, is about getting a free chest. So currently I have disabled cookies, but let me see if I can make it work that way. I just want to show that it's very super simple to join the contest. All right, should work fine. That one is using the cookies, and as you can see here, you can join our Telegram, Discord, tweet, follow our page at Facebook. All basic steps in order to get into this contest. So I highly recommend that. In order to get inside, you have to go into our website, or just go right now directly contest.minionverse.ao, and this will allow you to go into the game. And I'm about to get now a screen share. So yeah, please let me know if you can see my screen without any lags, because if you see any lags, please let me know so I can switch my network to a different one, and then we can proceed. So
can you move it around or do something? So we'll see if the lag is there.
Yeah, sure. I'm moving to the right. Let me know if there's any lag.
It's a little slow. It's a little laggy.
You know what? Let me just quickly switch the network settings, and I'm gonna go forward with the presentation.
So yeah, while we are here, here's what you see. What you see is the base where you defend against other players. So this game we made, we together with Fleur Games, to be mostly targeted at Asian market, like Southeast Asia, and Philippines, Malaysia. We get a lot of attention from Japanese players. Like there's tons of Japanese crypto investors who actually invested in the private sale. We saw that by the whitelisting Excel sheet that we did. A lot of them were Japanese, and we get a lot of free organic traffic from Twitter influencers from Japan, as well as YouTube influencers from Japan. So I think it just suits their taste. I think the game, in terms of the user interface, as well as the game models and everything. I know you guys are crypto investors. You wouldn't play the game anyway, but I think it is very appealing for the Asian players mostly.
No, we actually have people in here that would play, that would like to play,
yes.
like play to earn games, and there are a couple. Yeah, we have people here from all over the world, from Asia, from Europe, from Africa, and normally, like for me, like you're right, I would not, especially like a play to earn game, I would not waste my time playing, like hours to win like $1 or something like that, right? But there are people in here, and especially right in Asia and Africa, where a couple dollars a day of playing a game, that's could be fairly good income for them. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah,
$10, $20, you know.
What I'm trying to say is this game is not designed as a play to earn game. It is not. It is play and earn game. Like we actually don't want people to earn our tokens, because that would mean that they can they can earn the token, they can dump that, sell that, see the sleeping love potions from Axie Infinity, right? So that is the token, the SLP token, which is you can earn playing Axie Infinity, and people instantly dump the token once they earn them. So we don't want that. I mean,
but I've been looking at your I see, like, on your funding allocations, 50% of your tokens are for play to earn, staking, and liquidity.
Yeah, maybe I can explain this, but let me just go first with the cards themselves, so NFTs.
Yeah, so
yeah, I will go forward with that. So I had to close my window first. So speaking about the NFTs, we want to make this game free to play. That means that the users, when they are coming to our game, they're getting basic card pack sets for free, and they're able to play it with it, and they can mint those cards, because those cards will be lazy minting, free minting. That means it won't be visible on the network, but it will be in our database. If a user decides to mint those cards, then it will be visible. So let it put it that way, just like Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Dota 2 is doing. They also free-to-play games, and if you willing to sell and eat them, once you're gonna get something, it's not really worth selling on a market, because of the tax that you have to pay. Basically, you're not gonna get anything. So the same thing will probably go with those cards, that we're gonna give those cards to people, and then they can decide if they want to mint them or just keep them in their inventory, and that's about it. So we're gonna have at least 4 types of the NFTs, starting from defenses cards, heroes, and attack. We're also gonna have dragon NFTs, which you can see here. This is level maxed out. This is level 20 of this dragon. And all of them are unique NFTs which you can use in the game. Since the game will be free to play, and we are focusing on making this game play and earn, and not really play to earn, we're going to have 3 game modes. We're going to have first game mode, which is campaign. That's basically PvE. That means you're playing against the bots. The second game mode is fighting in the multiplayer space, and you're playing against the players. And the third mode is playing the leagues, tournaments, and that's where you're able to earn the money. We will have a different set of the tournaments with a different price entries and the free tournaments. So there is a possibility that somebody who is not willing to pay anything for the game wins something, but that player will probably need to face the players which already upgraded their deck. So we're not forcing anyone to purchase anything, but already pointing out is that if somebody is not willing to invest anything, then you will have to face the players who upgraded their deck. So that means that you still have a chance to win, but it will be just super hard. One of the main difference here between MinionVerse and other play-to-earn games is that you can move your troops just like you want, and you can deploy them just like you want it. Because, for example, in Axie, you can't really play some kind of strategy that you want. You're super limited to the your let's just say automated battle. While here, for example, it actually matters where you're gonna deploy your troops. I'm just gonna start here and show to you that where I'm gonna place my troops will actually make a big difference to this map. So as you can see here, starting my heroes, dropping here some kind of snake. Each card have a different stats. That means that that's a super low chance, pretty much not possible, to have exact the same NFT as your, let's just say, friend who's also playing that game, because every time you're gonna upgrade your card, by the way, we're also gonna change the outfit. It will just make, you know, the stats more rare, more randomized. That means you can have, like, for example, 100 HP for a specific NFT, and it will just simply be like 100.69. And this is why a lot of people already said in our group chat that they're not going to play the game, but they're gonna trade the cards, because a lot of people will be looking for those super rare cards with different stats, and this game actually gonna give it. As you can see, I can place my troops depending on what I'm gonna use now. You can have a different type of your own army troops. You can have a long range unit, you can have a short range unit, you can have a fly units, you can have a tank units, you can have a support units. Depending on your playstyle, you can basically create your own deck. And for example, I cannot place my arrow units at the front, because that spider will basically gonna eat them at one hit, you know. So this game actually requires a bit of, you know, knowledge what you're doing. It's not hard game to play it, but it requires a bit, you know, knowledge what you're doing when you're placing your troops. So after spending like at least 5 minutes into that game, you will already know what you're doing. So I think that everyone, you know, can get used to it. I can also say that a lot of people, especially from the Asia, Japan, Korea, are writing to us about giving them a beta access to the game, because they want to share it with their own community. And I think that game is getting a lot of love, especially from those Asian countries. This game just looks really good, and in my opinion, after because I'm on a different AMAs and I'm coming back to this game from time to time, after spending like 5 hours playing this game constantly, I don't have any you know bad feeling about playing this game again and showing and presenting to you. I understand that it's part of my job, but I like playing that game, and this is one of the reasons why people will be playing that game compared to other games, because if you, for example, in Axie, you remove that play to earn aspect, I asked my personal friends, and all of them said that they are not looking to play that game because they're not giving, you know, that kind of experience that they are looking for. They want to have some fun. Here, this game already includes a clan feature. That means you can make your clan private or public and play with your own friends. And I believe that a lot of people gonna, you know, compete against each other like clans in the tournaments in order which one is gonna get the most points of it. So I think I did a short introduction of the game. After winning this map, I'll be going into the base, because after each game you're trying to ride the enemy base and win the chest which is inside. And in order to keep the chest, you have to defend your base, so you can place your walls in the right place, the towers. And really depends on the player strategy, what the users are looking for. So what I want to say now is that I deployed, I guess, too much turtles, which is super slow in this scenario here. I could play the ice map, but I guess I'm gonna win now. But as you can see here, you can have a different type of units. I know that Duke, for example, likes to play with melee units. That means not long range distance units. He just wants to throw everything at the enemy and just smash them with the enemies and the firepower. And I'm actually focusing on more like, shooting the enemy from the long distance. And that's my own tactic of doing it. As you can see, 3 turtles, at least 4 snakes, and that's how I'm playing it now.
It looks to me like the turtles are in the back.
Yeah, they're super slow. Of course, I'm deploying now a lot of units, and it could look like they're getting inside of it, but those turtles and the snakes are already upgraded to the max level. That's why I'm not dying so fast. But trust me, this game, it's not so easy that you can see here on my screen. If you don't know really what you're doing, I'm currently just pricing the troops as I just want. But if you don't pay attention when you're deploying your troops, they're gonna die. So yeah, and I'm just gonna show you in a second how my base currently look like. As you can see, this one looks really good and has a lot of, things to protect that base. But my base actually looks really bad. I didn't really put too much attention to that base. And as you can see here, I'm not playing the multiplayer mode, so you don't see the dragon. But if I'm gonna play the multiplayer later, you will be able to see the dragon fighting with me, and this is your last chance, last stand to win. And this is exactly what is happening now. I'm attacking the base, and I'm trying to get that chest. As you can see, right top corner, there is a chest, and I'll be trying to get it now. So Guardian defeated. I'm gonna get the chest. So if you're looking to get some free chest and some cards from it, make sure to join our contest. It's contest.minionverse.io. And before I'm gonna hop into, can I share my screen just in a second? Yeah, make sure to join our contest to get the free chest. Super simple task to do, and yeah, already more than 3,000 users are here. So you can try your luck and see if you can win it. Let me get back to the game quickly. So speaking about the game, let me get back quickly to my base. I'm moving my screen just by moving any element. It's just because I'm currently using 2 monitor setups, and it's just easier for me instead of playing around with the monitors here. So as you can see here, I didn't really pay too much attention into my base, but I can, for example, remove and place the how it's called, walls whenever I want, in any place I want to do. That's a really bad idea of placing walls that way. But as you can see here, I have this ability to do pretty much everything that I want, and I can just save and clear it. And I'm just gonna go quickly into the battle and discuss about the multiplayer feature. So here in the multiplayer, you're fighting against other players. In order to get the enemy chest, which actually is a spawnable item inside the game, you need to win the match. So I'm gonna quickly hop into the multiplayer and gonna attack. So as I said earlier, we have the clan feature in-game messages feature added too. And I believe that clans feature is gonna play a huge role, because people like always competition. They want to, see who's better, and I'm gonna probably win that. But as you can see, there's a dragon. You see, but there's a super small dragon here, and I believe my snake can eat that dragon without any issue. But if you're gonna feed your dragon, you're gonna upgrade your dragon. And by the way, upgrading your NFTs are one of the use case of MinionVerse token. So in order to level up the dragon, you need to use the tokens. So those tokens are burned when you're leveling up. So trying to win this, and as you can see in the top right corner, there's some chests. So the system currently is looking that way, that players cannot steal the main chests that, for example, user already have. So let's just say those NFT cards. Let's just say you're gonna have like 5 slots of the NFT cards that you can save. Will be in the metal chest, and those cannot be stolen. But anything else that you're gonna get a free chest inside the game just by doing the quests and performing all the tasks, and it will be the wooden chest. You will be able to steal it just by winning the PvP badge. So please don't worry about that. When you can hear that somebody can steal your NFT, it's not true. They can steal the chest which you can get from the game, and those chests are wooden box. That means that you don't really know, you don't yet own this chest, and somebody might get win of it, right? So as you can see here, my dragon is super big here. It's level 20. There are some suggestions to make even higher levels of the dragons, and a little bit buff the stats. So instead of making level 20 as max, make it like level 100, but make a different stats for it. And yeah, I think that we can discuss a bit about the economics and the project itself. One of the big difference here between MinionVerse and another project is that here MinionVerse is starting with 1 token, and this 1 token will be used across those 3 games. That means you're gonna get it 1 token, and you can just use it anywhere at Winions, Brawl, Arena, and Battle of the Beast. What is also the cool thing is that you can use the NFTs from MinionVerse to any of the other games, but please consider that not all NFTs are able to use in other titles. That means that, for example, if you have a wall as an NFT, let me just get back quickly of it. How you're supposed to play with a wall in a PvP game? I mean, you plan to walk with wall, and then somehow wall can attack the enemy. This is like technical issue here that we are unable to port the wall into another game. But any other heroes like here that I'm playing, you're able to use them. So getting back quickly into the NFT space, after upgrading your NFT, obviously you're gonna get a better stats, health, attack, speed, all sort of those stats. And currently, as you can see, there's not like high randomization of the stats, but our build, which will happen in September and October, we haven't yet sure put like a hard date when the game will be released, but that's when we plan to release the game. The stats will be more randomized. That means that when I'm going to upgrade now, my stats will be like 1965.897. So the stats will probably never match with another NFT, and it will be just super unique. And as I said earlier, a lot of people are just gonna hunt for some specific NFTs just because they think they'll be rare and the price will go up because you cannot get exactly the same stats if you're gonna upgrade it. It will be super hard to get it so close to not possible to achieve that. So maybe I can discuss a bit about the tokenomics itself, or maybe somebody from the staff from Aero have any questions to me, and I can
I have a lot of questions. Okay, so
Sure.
Let's go back to the game for now. So the Winions game, right? It was on Steam, and looks like it's been taken down on the request of the publisher. So is that the reason why it was taken down from Steam, because they were partnering with you guys?
Yep, it was on Steam, it was on Google Play, it was on App Store, and Furry Games took it down to prepare for the NFT version.
Okay. All right. So the original game, I'm assuming, like the way I just been looking at the gameplay and also on the on the Steam page, it was like a free-to-play game where it's free to play, but to get anywhere, you either have to spend a long time leveling up, getting chests. It reminded me of Clash Royale, right? Like where you have your army, like you could turn that into NFTs. You have like 30, 40 different units, and you upgrade them, and then you pay gold to upgrade them, and you use gems to open chests right away, or you wait 3 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours, whatever it is.
Exactly.
So is this kind of like the similar ecosystem before you guys are changing it to the NFT system, right? That this is kind of how it used to be, right? Like you have your deck, you could pick whatever units you want in your deck, 5, 6, whatever it is, and they all get upgraded. They all have different like costs to them, like I see the 3, the 5, 9, or you're playing. I'm assuming they have different costs because you can't just keep on spamming the strongest units all the time, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Same. We're keeping the mechanism inside the game. Implementing blockchain NFT is going to be the first milestone, and we're going to look at the game stats, if people come back, retention, stuff like that, all the metrics. And we're going to tweak them. Tweak the game economy, as well as implementing more of the gameplay content. But first, I think that the most important thing is to get the product and get the game out there onto the market and start, testing it and see how the crypto version will react. And we look at Theta and Arena. They had the same game functioning before launched on App Store and Play Store. They took it down, changed the name, keeping everything untouched. Implemented the token, THG, and the NFTs inside the game. And then boom, 21 million active players. Huge game, huge token. I think at all-time high, they had like $8 billion of market cap, fully diluted market cap. And so, we're taking the same approach. We're taking this game, implementing all the blockchain parts, and market this.
Okay, and so my question is, so this is a free-to-play game, right? Free-to-play, but that means microtransactions, like we discussed. People will spending. In this case, you're mentioning that it's going to be the token itself to buy gems or gold, or you earn gold to open chests quicker. So it's kind of like a play-to-win game, which is most of the free-to-play games are actually play-to-win, right? Like you pay to get ahead to get your max level units instead of waiting like 3 years or 4 years or whatever it takes. If you're a whale, you could do spend $10,000 and be maxed out on day one, right?
Yeah, and that's where we want people to spend. Look, we are a company, and we want to make as much revenue as possible, right? And we are a greedy bunch of bastards who will just milk the players, and then and that's why it is beneficial for the token pre-salers, I guess, and the holders, because the more people playing this game, the more they will spend in the game, and they will push the price of the token, and that's what we're looking for, right? Look at Diablo Immortal. Like people spend like dozens of thousands of dollars there, getting the in-game items to be the best, and we want those players. We want the whales to spend inside this game, because they will essentially.
Yeah, but the thing is, Diablo Immortal is having a lot of hate, especially from real gamers. Like I feel like real gamers hate when the devs are milking the system. Like for example, Diablo Immortal, it was previously thought that only 100,000 was needed to max out your character, but it's actually 600,000, and that's just insane. That that makes no sense to me, right?
It is. I don't think MinionVerse will be like Diablo Immortal. Like with Diablo Immortal, in order to be just to be decent, you actually have to spend a couple of thousands of bucks. But with MinionVerse, I don't think you just have to play the game. We can send you the link if we haven't already. It is actually enjoyable, and you can actually play let's say the free version. It's just gonna take a lot more time. But yeah, there's always a balance. Like I think Diablo Immortal went too far. Like Blizzard went too greedy. But with Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, I mean, I think it's just the right amount of microtransactions. It's just the right amount. But and in this game, I think that it's the same. Like,
so what would be the reason? Would you say that players will want to spend thousands of dollars to get the edge or be ahead of this game? Because I feel for like Clash of Clans, right? Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, those games are huge. They're millions and millions and known by everyone, really. So it's like all these whales want to be in the leaderboard because they have some kind of ego boost. Like, oh look, I'm top 100, I'm top 50 on day one of this patch, or with the new hero levels come out, whatever they have, or the new season, and they have the diamonds, the stars, the rankings. So they have a ranking system, and there's since millions of players play this, there's YouTubers, with millions of subscribers that play these games. So I feel like for someone to actually be incentivized to spend thousands of dollars, it needs to be a game that's, I mean, maybe not in the beginning, but I feel like it needs to really be in worldwide, right? Or why would I spend, let's say, $3,000 to be ahead if the only people are gonna know that I'm number one is maybe 1,000 or so players, and that's it, So I feel like the community is kind of what the size of the community is also what motivates these whales to spend all this money to be top 10 or top 5 or top 1.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that is what this game is about. PvP is what brings all those whales inside those games. The competition part and the rankings, which we do have here. You have ranks here. Oscar, you can go over the ranks, like who's the leaderboard. We have clans. We have leagues, which are like kind of tournaments. So there's a tons of let's say competitive aspect of this game, including raiding other people's bases. So yeah, so that's number one reason why the whales would be in this game, because there's a lot of features like PvP based features, and that's what the whales love about competing with other players, not PvE content. So that's number one. And number two is we will bring this game using gaming guilds out there. We don't want to, of course, spend too much on player acquisition. Typically when you put a game on App Store and Play Store, you run ads like Google, Facebook ads, and then it all comes down to the cost per install, CPI, and it could be like $1. And then if you have the average revenue per user, the ARPU, like, I don't know, $2 or $3, then it's your home. I mean, you spend money, but you make more money on average per user than the game can generate a lot of cash. And so we're gonna watch that cost per install, cost per acquisition of player, and obviously I think the fastest way for us to acquire the players is to partner up with those gaming guilds out there in the crypto space. There's tons of them. Yellow Guild Games, Good Games Guild, Unix Gaming. There's a lot of them. Starting, getting started every day. So the easiest way to appeal to those guilds is to having them early access to the game, as well as the early Genesis NFTs.
All right. So normally, like I was saying about the Clash Royale, normally to get new units, you would open chests that take hours to open, like you guys were talking about. Either open chests or you have free chests that you could open, or you earn them after a battle, and after like 4 or 5 you could keep, you can't collect anymore, so you have to wait 3 hours, 8 hours, whatever, right? And then when you get those chests, you could either get a new unit or you get like some amount of other units, but you need, like, let's say for level 1 you need 10 of these units to upgrade to level 2. At level 2 you need 20 to upgrade to level 3, and then level 3 you need 40, and then 80, kind of stuff like that. But with this one, where you're doing NFTs, how is the NFTs going to work? Like, how do I collect these units and how do I upgrade them? Like, can I just buy the NFTs, or is there going to be a certain price for the units, or is it going to be like Clash Royale, where you just open chests and the chest is going to be basically what the NFT is going to be, and then it's going to be some random NFT? Like, how will this work with this game, since you're taking it from like a free to play game where it's all just based in the software? Now you have to be connected to the blockchain and there's NFTs involved. So what is the difference? How will it work with this game now, with the current with the current plans, with the NFTs, with the token, all integrated?
Essentially, it's going to be the same as the current version of the game that was on Steam and Play Store. We're not changing it. So upgrading cards, as you see, there's a limited amount of there's a for each level of the card you will be required to spend more and more golds, which means that you have to play more to farm those golds. So you can either farm those golds inside the game, earning 200, 300 golds per game, and then using those golds to upgrade the NFTs. Or you can speed up the process by buying more MinionVerse tokens and buy more chests with gems and speed up the process of leveling up those cards. Same with the towers, same with the heroes, same with your dragon, which is going to be the one that is going to defend your base. And there's a lot of also requirements in terms of PvP, making clans, winning leagues will require a lot of gems as well. So we're gonna keep that, and yes, to speed up opening the chests, they will require a certain amount of gems in order to speed up the opening of those, and yeah. So we're keeping everything as it is. The only difference is that in order to buy gems, you will need to spend the MinionVerse tokens. That's number one. Number two is that all the cards, the heroes, the minions, the towers, the dragons, they will be turned into blockchain, and then they will be traded as NFTs on Alti Arena's marketplace. And the only currency that will be traded, those cards will be traded, is in MinionVerse tokens.
All right, so one suggestion or a comment I have, because I'm still not 100% sure exactly how it works, is instead of having these NFTs, why not just have only one way of transferring between like real money or token into the game? And you would have your token that would be able to buy the gems or the gold, and everything else is in-game, just like the previous version of the game. Like basically you open chests, you use the gold to upgrade your units. Why even need the NFTs? Like, what would be the purpose of the NFTs that you can't do otherwise? Just so you could make it into like a trading type of game. Like, for example, Clash Royale, right? You can't trade. You could only like upgrade your own units, and then once they're max level, that's basically it. You can't buy them, you can't sell them. The only way to upgrade them is to buy more chests, get more gold, and upgrade that way, right? So with this game, I feel like the only reason to even have the NFTs is so you could like trade your units, right? Or then what's the purpose of it? Because you could just have a connection between the blockchain and the game in the beginning when you log in and be like, okay, well, I just bought 10,000 tokens. Now I have 10,000 tokens in my account that I could use to buy gold, or use the tokens to buy gems, or use them directly to, skip ahead, open the chest, things like that. So yeah, so they're just kind of curious why is the need to convert the units into NFTs also?
Yeah, so the first version of the game will be as it is, right? So let's say that you are a beginner, you're just starting the game, and you know that in order to be the best out there, you need like 200 hours, 500 hours, 1,000 hours of gameplay in order to be the best in the game, right? So you have kids, you have your job, you don't want to spend 1,000, 2,000 hours in the game just to farm, those NFTs, like highest level NFTs, the gold, gems, right? So you would go to the marketplace and you would buy highest level NFTs with the MinionVerse tokens. Yes, it is a pay to win, but that will also, facilitate the trade of the NFTs. So, in short, in order to really, I would say shorten the path to be the best player, or even top ranked player, people would be, I guess, willing to buy the NFTs off the marketplace instead of, playing that, the whole game from scratch. I think that's number one. And number two is that, we will, of course, with further games, implement more cards into this. There will be a certain amount of percentage or rarity of those cards. So there will be, NFTs that can only be acquired from the marketplace. You won't be able to, get them in the game, right? So there's going to be more content added in the game. I think that we're gonna also use and the existing, let's say, foundation of the game, like with Clash of Clans. You don't have your units as cards, right? So here, each minion is represented by cards. They have the attack, the health, and everything. So it is a perfect example, a perfect foundation for a trading card game. So Hearthstone, right? Pokemon cards, like kids, they would exchange one a card for another. So instead of like real life, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon and then Hearthstone, instead of exchanging those cards with dollar amounts, you would trade them on the NFT marketplace. I think with trading card games, it comes naturally, like and it has been proven, let's say, in real life.
Yeah, so with these NFTs, like let's say like top level, so you have level 1, right? And it's going to be like the same minion or the same card. It's going to be like higher level, like level 10, level 11, whatever it is, the highest level.
I would say that the outfit we're gonna change in the stats. Besides this, it should be just fine.
So just like all those free-to-play games, like that's why I'm saying Clash Royale, because I feel like that one's the most similar. I mean, you even have towers that you got to destroy, right? So I feel like that.
By the way, you can upgrade the towers. So just gonna do it quickly. Should we go for 5 minutes? Question from the people here on the AMA. Let's just take a look at example for this specific tower. Oh, I did it wrong. So let me just quickly go on the defenses. I believe that's the one I'm looking for now. Evolve twice. Let me see how it looks like. Oh, you see that already changed an outfit, and it's like now some kind of stone tower plus, yeah, they have like this green helmet, and ours also green. Let me try to upgrade it one more time and see what will change. Now you see
So
the wallet is
you're
upgraded.
basically attacking other people's bases and they're attacking yours, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So here's the thing. So with the NFTs, you get the higher level NFTs, like you upgrade them, from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So is it possible, are you going to be able to also sell maximum level upgraded like on the store, or basically anything that could be bought? Like you say your example earlier, if you're a beginner, maybe you don't want to spend 1,000 hours, you want to buy like the upgraded ones right away. So anything that can be bought, is it going to have to be player created, as in like the players will have to spend their tokens, their gold to upgrade those NFTs and sell them? Or you will also offer like max level NFTs already there that have not been created by the players, basically like have been created by the game itself, almost like a seeding. You're seeding them into the marketplace, because that's actually a big difference between people making money or not.
No, we won't like generate them from scratch that you can just buy off the marketplace and you're going to be the best in the game. That's not the case. So the only ones that will put, let's say, generated by the marketplace or generated out of thin air is the, I would say, legendary or unique, epic, let's say, cards, which are level 1, right? So they will be extremely rare to get in the game, but they will be level 1. So you still have to spend gold and gems in order to level up those cards. So even if they are bought from the marketplace, it doesn't mean that they're going to be the strongest. Like they're going to be rare, yes, but you will still need to level them.
Yeah. I feel as long as anything that's in a marketplace was actually like either won by players or acquired by players by playing the game through chests, through this, basically not like seeded. So where you just because the thing is, for example, the issue with games, that free to play games, like you might, like, let me give you an example of Clash of Clans. You might, if you started from the beginning right now, from 0, it might cost you, let's say, $1,000 to buy all the in-game gems, buy all the sales, whatever they have, all the packs, to go from 0 to max level, right? Within like a day, let's say. It costs you, say, $1,000. Or you could just, if you bought an account, someone selling an account, which is illegal, but you can still do it. It might cost you only $150 because people that are already max level, they got bored, so they're selling their account for $150. So that's basically kind of like someone that would spend $1,000, but now they could only sell it for $150. They lost money in a way, right? So if they were able to sell their accounts in the game, so it'll cost you what, $1,000 to get to that level, but to sell it, it'll only cost, you only get back $150, so you're losing $850. So it's very important not to make it too easy, or like just seed the game with higher level stuff. So the players have to spend that money to even get that to that level. You know what I mean? So maybe like after a while, like it'll go down in price because not as many people are wanting to buy it. Like any NFT, floor price drops because there's less buy pressure and people just undercutting each other just to kind of sell it quicker and quicker. So that's fine. But if there's like just seeded max level accounts, then people will just buy those and they won't spend the money. So then it kind of makes it to where there's no point to even upgrade. It's cheaper to actually buy a higher level right away. You know what I mean? So I think it's very important to keep it that way too. It's all fully player driven. Like if you want to buy a level 10, for example, NFT of a certain type, someone actually has to be selling it. You can't just buy it out of thin air. Some player had to have spent that money to get to level 10, and now they're selling it. I think that's the only way to keep it long-term sustainable, where it'll hold its value.
Yeah, well, I think that I mean, it's players' choice to sell their accounts, but in order to level up those NFTs, they will have to connect their. So here's the thing: we want to have this game on the Play Store as well as the App Store. And the only way to do it is to implement it without the blockchain NFT part. So we're gonna go with the path of probably Theta Arena, where in the game you will have to log in with your let's say Google account or your iTunes account, whatever, and then you can play the game. But once you will want to buy those chests with gems, you will have to have the MinionVerse tokens in your account in the back end of the game. So the whole blockchain thing will be outside of the game. So we'll go to the Alti Arena's website or the marketplace, and you will have to connect your Google or let's say your email from the game itself to your wallet, so that we have the connection between your email and your wallet, and so that we know that, hey, this wallet is this player in the game, right? So so coming back to selling the accounts, I think it will be extremely hard or even impossible. I mean, you can actually do that, but in terms of security, you have. I don't think there's a market for selling your wallets, right?
I mean, you wouldn't have to sell your account because you just sell the NFTs.
Yeah, but then again, that you have to also share your private, like your seed phrase to your wallet, right? Because the account is permanently connected to the wallet.
Yeah, but I'm saying in this case, you wouldn't have to sell your account because your account is only worth the value because of the NFTs. So you would just sell, like for example, Clash of Clans, you can't sell your upgraded troops, or Clash Royale, you can't sell your upgraded cards. But that's what you guys are trying to make. You're trying to make it to where you could sell each individual piece, right? Like the archer.
And so the whole value is in the NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you try.
But what I'm trying to say is, as long as it's these NFTs, for them to keep value, it has to be to where they're only created because of player upgrades and things like that, not just like seeded by by you guys, by the game developers, because then it'll get saturation and then they'll lose their value to where
oh yeah, obviously. No, I'm speaking only about we don't want to flood the market with a lot of cards. I think it's basically so in order for the NFT's value to grow, we need more and more players, and so we can't and we won't like be giving out, let's say, tons of like epic and legendary NFTs out there, because it's going to be saturated, as you say, inflation, right? Inflated in a way. So yeah, of course we won't want to destroy the economy, right? And so we'll have them in limited amount, maybe for even a limited amount of time, it's the same story with Dota 2, for example, the skins. When there are certain skins which are only acquired through some special events inside the game. So it could be probably the same thing. They could be limited in amount. They could be limited in availability, and are connected with some kind of events. So yeah, we're looking at those kind of NFTs.
All right, and there's a mention here previously about play to earn, and some of the guys, I think they're actually from your channel, they were saying that you could earn tokens. Is that correct?
Yes, you could. This play and earn. So as we mentioned, that we don't want the players to be just playing and earning the token, which they're gonna dump on the market anyway. The play and earn.
How would you be able to manage? I mean, you can't control the players. If they wanted to dump it, they would be able
No,
to,
no,
right?
no. There won't be. Let's say in Axie Infinity, for every match won, you would win 2-3 SLPs, right? And then there's a vesting period of course, 2 weeks vesting period, and then you can just sell um, after the period. Here, for playing the game, for actually spending the time in the game, winning battles, PvPs, won't get you rewarded with the MinionVerse token. So this is not play to earn game. This is play and earn game, where we want the skilled, the best players winning leagues or tournaments to be winning the MinionVerse token. So there's a pool out there, 49%, at least 50% of the tokens will belong to the community, to the players. So obviously this project is decentralized, and those tokens will be rewarded as winnings in leagues, or I would say tournaments. So we would reward the best players in terms of skills, as well as time played, or amount of MinionVerse tokens spent in the game. So it's not so obvious to win the MinionVerse tokens. You actually have to build a strong deck to actually winning PvP battles, and then you can earn as rewards in tournaments.
Also, you need to run a different strategy, because as you can see, I lost. I mean, my last games were actually lost. I couldn't manage to get on time into the specific zone, and I was just using too slow cards to get into that point, and that means that you need to have a different strategy to win specific maps. And I don't see that a one card pack set will do the job, because in some cases, different strategies, you probably need like fast units instead of slow units, but with a high HP count. And this is how you actually play. Also want to mention one thing about the project itself, that we obviously have a KOC, and the devs are verified here, but we also have 2 audits here. The TechRate did the audit, and the Console did the audit. You can go to our website, MinionVerse.io. I can actually share it the same, and you can just view it by yourself and see, just in case if something isn't right. Also on the top you have this button to win beta access. You can press on that and it will be moved into the MinionVerse contest.minionverse.io. Let me just go quickly to audit. If you move mouse, hover on it, you will see. I'm just gonna go, for example, in consult. It will move you to the GitHub here. You can read about it. You can also get a confirmation that we have done the verification of our identity. And actually it says that we did it on the pink cell. And yeah, that was a few words from my side. Do we plan to open our chat to community questions?
Oh, I'm not even done yet. We do the community questions before. I'm not even close to being done. We haven't even talked about the token yet.
Yeah,
if you guys, I could speed it along, because I know we spend a lot of time just talking about the actual game itself.
I mean, it's fine as long people want to hear that and they are happy about our project and want to know something more. Then we are here for the people.
All right, so let's go on to the token itself, the tokenomics. Is there any taxes?
No, there's no taxes.
So it'll be basically 0% tax.
Yeah.
On BNB. And so I talked to you guys earlier, and this is what I want to discuss. I feel like the biggest thing we need to figure out is, or discuss, and I want to hear your guys' answer, is about the 3 pre-sales, like private sale, pre-sale 1, pre-sale 2, and the amount of tokens that each one, or the amount of discount that each stage got. because here's the thing: like we had projects where we had an AMA with, and they were selling tokens at 50 cents for pre-sale. It'll be 50 cents, but we find out that a month prior they had a private sale where the tokens were sold at 10 cents. And that's a big flag for me, big red flag for me, because when tokens are being sold or someone got them for 5x cheaper, that could only mean one thing in BC space, and that means that people will rush to sell as soon as they could when they're in profit, because if they don't do it, everyone else will do it. You know what I mean? If there's $100,000 worth of tokens that were bought for 5x cheaper, then it's kind of like a race. As soon as it's unvested, as soon as they get their 5% every month or whatever it is, they would immediately dump. And in the long term, the chart would always go back to where the cheapest the cheapest price point was, either the 10 cents or even cheaper, you know, or you could even go below that point, because especially investing, it just kind of like prolongs the inevitable. If you have, you know, like 80% tokens vested, and then over like a year period of time they got all the tokens anyways, then look at the chart. Look at a year chart in a year, and I think every single chart you would see would have a huge dump, because especially with investors, like who's going to come in 6 months later and like be like, well, I'm going to buy this token, but then I'm looking at the chart and it's dumping. All these guys they're waiting for their unlock periods to, you know, dump the rest of the tokens. It's very hard to bring you new investors in, right? So this is what I want to talk to you about. So normally, if we know there's a pre-sale that happened, and then like it had like a 5x, and now it's our turn to buy, I'm like, oh hell no, this is not. Why would I? Because the thing is, these guys that bought a month earlier, did they also have 5 times more risk to warrant a 5x for them versus our price? You know what I mean? I understand if it was like at the beginning of the project, like a year ago when they had nothing, so they're taking a huge risk. But like something that happened like 2-3 weeks ago, like, is it really warranting a 5x? So I feel like we definitely need to address these discounts, and are they warranted? Because private sale is 10 cents, pre-sale 1, which is currently going on, is 20 cents. Pre-sale 2, which will be in the future, is 30 cents, and launch price is 40 cents. So if we buy right now, right, with the current pre-sales going on, by launch price, it's already going to be a guaranteed 2x, right?
That's correct. 3.3 as far as I know, but let me just quickly recall that and go into that page.
Oh yeah, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was looking at the website. I think that one's outdated.
Let me just go quickly here.
So we are currently at pre-sale 1. So private sale was super limited. It was hard cap 100K. It was filled out in 37 minutes. So we wanted to keep it, you know, it was the earliest and obviously the most favorable price. And so we also wanted to keep it small as possible, because we know that, you know, it's super attractive, you know, 6x, you know, guarantee versus TG price is, you know, so it was a rather small hard cap. So actually pre-sale 1 is 3 times the hard cap, and it has the same vesting period as all the pre-sales, 15% at TG, 30 days cliff, and then liner vesting over 5 months. We are super confident about the game, and so that's why, you know, we're also super confident about raising all the hard caps in all the pre-sales. One is because we need the development and also marketing funds to bring this token at really high, let's say, trading volume. More trading volume means that we can get listed on more centralized exchanges. And so, you know, that would be beneficial for everyone, right? So the larger amount of money that we raise, the more we can spend on listing on centralized exchanges, the more exposure to, let's say, more mainstream like communities. Like, let's be honest, like people that are trading on PancakeSwap are on DEXs. is a very small portion of the general like crypto community, which is I would say now 100 times bigger, right? So there's a very huge amount of people who are trading on centralized exchanges who have never touched decentralized exchanges before, or like bought tokens in pre-sales on pink sale, for example, right? So there's we can be like, hey, we have all those Telegram calls, channels, and everything, but that's a tiny fraction, compared to all those people that are using only centralized exchanges and they have their wallets there. And so, we're confident with the amount of raise. We are confident that the game can be marketed towards all the markets that are really hot in terms of gaming, especially casual gaming such as this. And so, with the vesting period in place, plus with I think a very interesting gameplay, we can counter even if the crypto investors, they will sell, of course they will sell, then we can counter that with the real demand for the token from the players. There are whales in Diablo Immortal, spending $20,000-$30,000, buying just in-game items, and they don't even earn, from playing the game, right? So they still spend the money there. And so we believe that crypto investors, they will sell, but in exchange for that, we will bring the players into this and buying the MinionVerse token to counter the dump, I would say.
Yeah, but I feel like here is the issue though. Like, why did you need for example, such a steep discount? Because I think, honestly, I feel like it's almost like shooting yourself in the foot for like the future. 6.5x. I mean, like maybe 2x, maybe 30, 40%, 50% more tokens for like private sale. I think that is very reasonable, but 6.5x, I don't know, man. I feel like if I'm the guy that's buying at launch and I know that there's like $1 million worth of tokens were sold, with some guys getting 6.5x, some guys getting 5x, 4x, whatever, I'm not gonna feel good about investing at that time, because that's almost like buying at launch, and launch is all-time high. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but look, there's 430K initial market cap because
well, it's 430K from just the percentages that are being unlocked. But the actual market cap is like 65 million or something, right?
Yeah, the actual fully diluted market cap is 65
Yeah, but
million.
for a long term, if you're a long-term investor, that's the market cap you look at. You look at the long-term one, because in a year, all those tokens will be released anyways. See, this is the issue with long-term investing. With long-term investing is when you're looking 3 years ahead, and you see the liquidity in the beginning is maybe like 5% of the total supply, and there's like 50% is going to be released over a period of 1 year. Like, that's just a recipe for basically dumping for a year period, because you need really strong liquidity, right? So let's look at the percentages, your tokenomics. I want to see. Okay, so do you have a rough idea of how much liquidity percentage you will have?
So for 438K of market cap initial, if we sell out all the hard caps, right? So there's always for us a formula like 50% of that would have to be in stables put into liquidity, and then 50% matched, like so. So in the liquidity pool, they would have a total value of at least equal of the initial market cap, and so if we have 438K of initial market cap, then around 200K of stables would be there in liquidity.
Yeah. So
what are you asking?
So like this pre-sale number 1, for example, pre-sale 1, right, with 300,000 BUSD. What's the percentage for liquidity for that one? Do you know?
Well, we have to.
I just want to get a good idea of like how much you're putting into liquidity
I would guess
initially.
30%. Top of my head, 30% will go to liquidity if we sell out. So
what's the rest of it going to go to?
100K. The rest will go to development and marketing.
But I thought the game is already done.
Getting listed on Huobi, for example, is 100K. And we have to build the marketing for the launch, for the TG, right? Getting calls here and there, influencers, KOLs, Google ads, Facebook ads.
Okay, and then there's also the...
I have one more thing before we continue. What about the 2 more titles? Winions Brawl Arena and Battle of the Beast. I understand the MinionVerse is already I've been playing it, but those 2 other titles, they will be coming too under the same token, and there will be no more pre-sale for those games.
So the one that you guys were showing, that was Winions, right?
That's MinionVerse. That's on the middle right now.
But
we have.
I was looking at Winions. Winions on the Steam page. That's the one that's the one you're playing.
There's 3 titles here. MinionVerse Tower Defense is on the middle. On the left you have Winions Brawl Arena, and on the right you have Battle of the Beasts. And those 2 titles at the end are not yet done, and it will be integrated to the game itself.
Yeah, but the one you were showing, right, was the first one, the Winions.
MinionVerse. That's how we call it.
So MinionVerse and Winions is the same thing?
No, it's a completely different game.
Winions is
but I'm on Winions on the Steam page, and you said it used to be called Winions, but you changed the name or something. But that's the exact game that you're playing.
Yes.
So what is actual MinionVerse?
With the blockchain NFT, the MinionVerse token integrated with NFTs.
So it's basically the same game. So Winions is kind of like the off the chain, which is the one you guys basically got from Fura Games. Once you upgrade it with the NFTs, it's going to be the second version of the game, which is going to be called MinionVerse.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then the Bob game, that's the third. Technically that's the second game, because Winions and MinionVerse is basically the same game. It's just going to be upgraded with NFTs and blockchain.
No. Look closely. The first one is Winions Brawler Arena. It's not Winions. It's Winions Brawler Arena. It's like Brawl Stars, where you have a map of. So there's a Brawler Arena there, like with a little font under it. So it's basically like Brawl Stars, where you choose a hero and then you have a deathmatch of all the heroes on the PvP arena. We actually have a prototype of the game, but Oscar, you maybe have it somewhere, but it's we have with Furry Games we have a working prototype. Yeah, and also and for the third game is Battle of the Beasts, which is it's like Candy Crush. So you have those gems, and then you have to match them in 3 of those gems in order to destroy the board and win the game. So the thing is, we want the MinionVerse token to be used in all 3 games, and the NFTs from one game could be transferred to another game. So let's say in Winions Brawly Arena, you have like tons of heroes, and if you own the hero NFT from MinionVerse, then you're gonna have the hero unlocked in Winions Brawly Arena.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because it's a bit confusing because you're using the original Winions Mana Champions game as your MinionVerse game, but then the Winions Brawler Arena is going to be a different type of game. It's going to be using the same characters, right, from Winions.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the token also, is there going to be any revenue generation? Is there any advantage to buying the token, or you just basically the whole point of the token is you're gambling on the fact that the price is going to go up because players will be using the token, right? Or is there any kind of profit sharing, or are we buying
No, no,
a
no,
portion of the company with the tokens?
no. There's no. There may be, of course, there will be farming and staking and all those DeFi products that we build. So you can stake the MinionVerse token to get MinionVerse token, provide liquidity and get MinionVerse tokens. But there's no I guess other ways. So it is actually like owning a piece of. So let's say Apple sells a lot of iPhones, right? You would buy Apple's stocks just because you foresee that there's going to be tons of people buying the iPhone 15, for example, right? So I guess it could be the same here. You hold onto the token simply because like we are pretty confident that we can bring all the players from Southeast Asia, especially, who love this kind of game. So the more players come into the space, more players getting the MinionVerse tokens, the more price actions we'll see from the MinionVerse token.
So let's say I'm a whale, right? I'm going to buy $10,000 worth of tokens so I could buy some NFTs, max level NFTs. So, kind of get ahead, basically same as what they would do in a Clash Arena, things like that, buying gems. So what's going to happen to those tokens? Let's say I spend $10,000 to buy your MinionVerse token, members. What will happen to those tokens? Will it go and be sold back on the blockchain? Is it going to be locked or burnt forever? Or what's going to be the use case or the path of that token for me buying it to buy the in-game stuff to like how is it going to go to the players selling the NFTs, right? But not everything is going to be bought from players. You'll also spend tokens or gems to open the chest quicker, right? So those tokens, where are they going?
I guess, Oscar, you can show the flow of the token. We have the graph, right?
Sure, we'll be doing. I'm currently presenting the gameplay of Winions Brawl Arena, and hopefully everyone can see. Does the video is lagging now? Because I'm using some kind of media player.
Honestly, I think the Telegram video is gonna lag no matter what. I never seen it not lag.
I tried my best.
Telegram is.
I tried my best. All right. So you were asking about the token itself and some kind of graph. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically the flow of the token. Let's say I spend money. It's kind of like if I'm buying gems on iCloud.
So I have a really quick something. I have to leave for a couple of minutes. So 30% of the tokens will be burnt. Okay, so this token is going to be deflationary. So let's say $10,000 worth of MinionVerse tokens is going to be bought by the player. Then 30% of those MinionVerse tokens will get burned. And then 15%, so 15% will go to a treasury managed by a DAO. Okay, so there's another. It's a benefit of having the MinionVerse token. Is that we're gonna have a DAO which will manage that treasury fund. Okay, and that's 15%. What's more is that the DAO will also not only manage that treasury fund, the 15%, but DAO will have a say in the development of the game as well as the community ecosystem and so on and so forth. So we're gonna put out the voting system out there. You're gonna have to connect with your wallet, and based on how much MinionVerse tokens you're gonna gonna hold, you will have a say in the whole ecosystem. Another 15%, so that brings us to 60% right now. So another 15% will go to. This is Oscar. This is not the table. There was this. You can find it on in the white paper, in the use case section. So 15%.
Let me just go.
Yeah. So 15% will go to the treasury managed by team. On the left side, sustainability. On the left side, sustainability and use cases. There you go. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, just the image. You can click on that and it will go full screen. Yeah. Then 15% goes to treasury managed by team. So that's our revenue. Of course, we're gonna sell that and make money to buy servers and keep the team going and everything.
But then if you already have the team, so why do you need so many team tokens? Because you guys already have team advisors 13.5%. You have treasury 16.5%. So why you're gonna get a revenue and you're also gonna have team tokens too? That's a pretty high percentage compared to all the pre-sales.
Yeah. So we have 3 games in the making, as well as fairer games to pay for the development. So we just want to cover all the expenses. So hence the percentages. We can also put...
Okay, guys, hold on. I just realized something. I was not looking at the percentages, but so the pre-sale one, 15 million tokens. Let's see on PinkSale. What is it? Is it yeah? How much tokens? How many tokens are you selling right now? I can't even see it on the PinkSale.
You have to divide the hard cap.
Okay, so you're selling 15 million tokens, right?
10 million tokens in private sale at the price of 1 cent. So that's a 100K hard cap. Now for the pre-sale one, we have 15 million tokens up to for sale for 2 cents. So that's the hard cap is 300K. If we don't fill the hard cap, then the rest of the tokens, will be burned.
Okay, so you guys definitely, this is something you guys definitely have to change. This is not going to work. Because the 15 million tokens you're selling, but your team is getting 135 million, marketing's getting 160 million, treasury is 165. So you're only selling like 1.5%, while marketing's getting 16%, team's getting 13%. Like that part, that is gonna be I think the numbers, you literally have to go and add an extra decimal to your pre-sale tokens. So instead of 50 million, it should be 150 million, something like that. Because you literally, basically, what you're saying here is you're gonna collect with all the pre-sales $1 million for about 3.5% or so of all the supply, and the team is getting like 13% of the supply. Marketing is getting 16%. Staking is getting 50%. That's a recipe for disaster.
So all those tokens are vested, and if you look at other projects,
I mean, but even the thing is, here's the thing. Okay, look, this is why I wanted to have the prior AMA, because this is a big deal. So let's say private sale, pre-sale number 2. So you have 3%, 4% IDO. So you have 4.5% tokens being sold with private sale 1, pre-sale 2, and IDO. 4.5% tokens, right?
Yeah.
Team and advisors are basically getting 13.5% for free. So even though it's vested, 13.5, So at 5% every month, right? Every 30 days, 5%. So 13.5 times 0.05 times 0.05. So you start with 4.5 tokens sold across all the pre-sales, and just the team alone is getting 0.67%. So 0.67 is divided by 4.5. It's about 15%. So the team is literally getting 50% free tokens every month of the compared to the 4 pre-sales you're doing. Do you kind of see what the issue is now?
Well, we built this game with Faro Games. It took them 2 years to build this game, and they spent like $2 million into this game.
Yeah, but I'm talking about investors here. When an investor's seeing this, like, how are investors going to make money? Like, if the team is literally getting 15% per month of what the investors paid for it, let's say $1 million, and that's just the team, right? The treasury is getting even more. Marketing is also getting more. And to use those marketing tokens, you have to sell those tokens. Like, most people or marketers, you take either cash, BUSD, or BNB. They're not going to take your tokens as payment. You're not going to buy a billboard with MinionVerse tokens. So honestly, I feel like you need like 10x more tokens for pre-sale, because they need to actually get something for their money, not 1.5%, 2%. It's kind of like I go into Shark Tank and be like, hey, sharks, I started this company. I literally bought this game from someone else, and I'm asking for $2 million for 0.5% of my company. They're gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, so it's totally depends on how much value we think the project is worth. So at TGE, the fully diluted market cap is going to be $65 million. So that's how we think the project is worth. So let's say that we go out there, fundraise from the venture capital.
But the thing is, don't you want the whole point of investors is they want to make money, so they're not buying what a project should be worth after like 3 years, let's say. That the whole point of even having investors early is because they believe in you, and they're gonna want to make money because they get in early. But if you're already selling them a project at a valuation of 65 million, and
but you haven't counted in the fact that all those people that play in the game will have to buy the MinionVerse tokens somewhere, and that would mean that they would buy from decentralized exchanges or decentralized exchanges, and counter the selling or whatever the reason the crypto investor will be selling with the real demand from the game. So we have obviously sideways the fact that it all also depends on how successful the game is.
Yeah.
Apart from those percentages, the biggest let's say reason that or the factor that will affect the whole project is the number of people that will be playing the game and paying the MinionVerse tokens for the gems.
Yeah, but you're asking us to gamble on the fact that there's a small chance that this game will actually take off versus like all the other games.
That's what we've been telling on every AMA is the success of the token will be largely dependent on how successful the game is. It's not like a tax token where you can just put it out there without a real product, and so it is like Shark Tank. Like if you invest in a company, then you actually have to believe that hey, this product is gonna succeed. You don't invest simply because of the Excel numbers. You invest into Airbnb or I don't know, Uber or other startups simply because you believe that they will take the market and be profitable and generate revenue in the future based on how popular those apps are going to be.
Yeah, but the
Is this
thing is, this
same
game has
thing?
already been out, and it's actually hasn't been successful. Like, if you look at Steam reviews, it's mixed reviews. So a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it. There's like a lot of negative reviews, right? So it's kind of like the game's not going to be any different. The only difference is it's going to be NFTs now associated with it, right? So so it's going to be even more expensive. Like to actually, upgrade your characters, you're going to have to spend tokens. So it's going to be even more expensive probably than the previous version to get like max level NFTs, max level units, right? So the thing is, it's kind of like this game has already been out, and it seems to me like the reviews are mixed. Some people like it, yeah, some people don't. So that makes
So
it harder
look at
to,
look at Theta and Arena. Like I mentioned earlier, they put out the game out there without the blockchain NFT part, and it did so or poor, right? Right after they raised from Animoca brands and everything, you look at Theta and Arena, backers and investors and launchpads. They certainly suddenly had all the hype from the crypto community brought a lot of players as well. So and the fact that we are presenting the project as it is, you can easily search the screenshots and the gameplays, and it's obviously from the Winions game itself. Then it's up to the investors to decide whether to invest or not. What I'm just saying is that adding the blockchain NFT and crypto elements to that can change the mix of players who's going to play the game. So that is the analogy that we brought from Theta Arena, and it also is on the pitch deck that we are comparing Theta with MinionVerse in terms of how well we differentiate. But so yeah, bringing this game into the crypto space can change it from I'd say so negative to positive. I'm not saying it will. That's why it's an investment. It's inherently risky, and and we're just presenting as it is. It's up to you to decide whether to invest or not.
Yeah, can you actually tell us a little bit because I think for us to kind of understand your thought process about doing it like this way, we need to discuss your previous the existing token, the Ulti Arena, right? Did it have a similar structure with vesting and multiple X's for like the private sale? Was this similar
We did,
numbers?
we did, but with a totally different tokenomics. The number one is that we didn't have a actually working product when we put token for sale out there. So it took 3, 4, 6 months to deliver the marketplace. So we didn't have so that's the difference. So we didn't have the product when we launched the token. Here it is different. We actually have a working product, which is the game. Number two different is we actually don't have any VCs in MinionVerse. We don't. So there's no venture capital. There's no, let's say, off the market OTC deals happening. And so there's just purely the pre-sales and IDOs through PinkCell. So that's the second difference.
I mean, I understand, but here's the thing that I want to kind of help you out with my point. So your tokenomics, the way they're designed, it's designed to basically flood the market with those tokens. Most of them are locked. Every month there will be a lot released. Liquidity is going to be very low compared to market cap because you're only taking liquidity from the 4.5% that's been raised, and like let's say a third of that is going to go to liquidity, right? And all these other tokens are basically like free tokens that the team's going to have, marketing's going to have, staking will drop, And over a long period of time, it feels to me like the price would crash. And then when you look at your old token, that's exactly what happened. I just kind of measured it by, the graph, the chart, and it looks like it dropped 97% from launch price. Not even from all-time high, but just from launch price alone. And that's what I'm asking you. It's probably the same thing. That's the reason why I even did this, is because of so many free tokens that everyone got, the team, the this and that. And what would actually incentivize investors to even buy this if the price is just going to dump over long term, because everyone is just having tokens, the free tokens getting unlocked every month, and just selling them as soon as they can. I think that is the biggest issue that you're going to have to convince investors. And if you look at the old chart, that's exactly what happened. What I was saying is going to happen with this one is, with all these tokens being released every month or every, release schedule, it's just going to be extra tokens that's going to be dumped. Like, how are you going to counteract that with new investors coming in and buying? It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah. As I said, we are doxed, and we even say we have our Alti Arena logo on the partner section. We openly say this is a joint project from Alti Arena and Fur Games. We don't hide anything. You can just freely investigate the Alti token, put it out there on CoinMarketCap, and see how this token worked out, and so information is up there publicly, and you can investigate that as you did pretty well. And so we're not hiding anything. Yes, if you look at the historic price chart of the other project that we did, then yes, you shouldn't invest. What we are trying to say is that we have a working product, and that it will be hugely dependent, the token itself, on the game and how successful the game is. And as I mentioned before, we put the Alti token out there, and we didn't have a working product. Here's a difference. And also, as I mentioned, having the tokens unlocked in invested manner for 20 months, that is pretty long. And also, if you take the Alti tokens, the team, the marketing wallets, not a single token for the marketing wallet was sold. For the teams, it was probably less than 0.1% which was sold. Even though
I'm assuming most of the people that sold are the ones who got in, with 3-5x or whatever it was from private sale.
Yeah, a lot of people made a lot of money, and that's a lot of private sales investors, pre-sale investors. They got a lot of money out of this. We had $10 million trading volume at day one, and so a lot of people that bought into pre-sale, they made a lot of money simply because they made their money back right at TGE, and after that, because it went 10x, right? So they made their money back from the unlocked tokens. I think it was 10%, simply because so, and then the rest was free money. So essentially, profits. And so, if you invest into this pre-sale, and if you look at the performance of the pre-sellers on Alti Arena, then they got the money back and some. And so, maybe it is bad in terms of the chart, or maybe it is bad for the investors that will get in after TGE. But for the people that got into the pre-sale, a lot of them did pretty well, and I know a lot of people made a lot of money from the Alti token, participating in the pre-sale. But that's what you are here for, right? All the crypto investors getting pre-sale is you want to make money, obviously, and in the BSC space, you want to make money as soon as possible.
The thing is, for pre-sale to make money, you have to have faith that it's going to go up after pre-sale. Like, someone has to be buying it at TGE.
Yeah.
Right. So here's my opinion. If we had this AMA, a private sale number one, where you get 6.5x, I think the fact that you're getting 6.5x alone would get people to invest, right? Because they're like, well, I could, even if I sell, even if it goes up like 2x, I could literally sell my 15% at TGE and I'll get my, initial out. So that's fine. At pre-sale 1, also you get in a good, 3x or so. But then, so it's I see how it could have no problem filling, like with pre-sales when you actually offering them such a good incentive. But once it gets to pre-sale 2 and IDO, where they know that the guys before them literally got 50% cheaper or like 80% cheaper, and then especially at IDO at 40% at 40 cents, and then at TGE, who's going to be buying at TGE? Like, what investors are going to be buying it when they could have had all this time in the world to buy it in the first 4 pre-sales for a lot cheaper price?
Check the Alti graph. We had $10 million trading volume at TGE. We spent so much money on TGE that, and they say it,
yeah, was it a similar thing though, where like you had private sale 1, 2, 3, and they would get like 6x,
it was
5x?
even more, and it was it was even structured. We were new into the space, and we didn't have any experience, bringing the tokens. Now that we have, and also advise the other projects as well, we can do even more. But yeah, it was pretty much, it was even, let's say, the private sale, the first private sale in Alti token was 10x. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that a lot of people also made a lot of money, because all the fundraise, all the pre-sales, we actually put on marketing, and we pushed the price from the launch price to all-time high. I can't remember, but it was like a crazy amount of, we had a fully diluted market cap of $2 billion, right? And so you may question the fact that there's not going to be enough people buying the TG, but we have actually proven that even with the 10, it was 6.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're talking about September. That's when everything was getting sniped, when everything was hyped. All projects were going like 5, 10x. And if you look at now, like in the last 2 months, even like the big projects, most of them did not even get a 1.5x out of it. Like I think only 1 or 2 that I could think of top of my head that did like fairly well from pre-sale. Which one of them was SoCal. We had an AMA with them like last week.
Okay.
And there's probably another one. But even Shinja, the ones that relaunched on BSC, and they had an Ethereum token that went up to 1 billion market cap. They didn't even get a 2x, and now it's below pre-sale. And after taxes, you probably would have gotten like maybe 1.5x or so. So the thing is, just because I know in last year and even earlier last year, August, you could like literally throw money at anything and you'll get a 10x out of it. And it was getting sniped like crazy because all that money was there. All these guys made money off of Shino, like Shiba Inu and all these other crypto run and everything. So, but now it's like most of the money's gone. Like basically what happened in the last 2 years since March 2020 is everyone that got lucky, all these projects were designed to take the money from the lucky to the smart and the scammers. So when you have some idiot, he bought Shiba Inu at the right place at the right time, and he made $2 million off of it. Now he has $2 million. He thinks he could gamble with it. So of course he's going to be aping it, throwing it at the wall, throwing it at everything, and in the long run, they're going to lose all their money. So it was just a wealth transfer from the people that got lucky to the ones that are smart, and that's why all these projects in the past were getting hyped so much, was getting sniped because people had money. Right now, it's not the same. Degens don't have any more money. That's why you don't see projects moon anymore. Like, first of all, especially if they're like meme tokens, no one's buying meme tokens. Just the degens are broke because they're degens. They don't know how to invest, and literally it's been transferred from the scammers and the smart developers that have good projects, and also the smart investors, the ones that aren't aping into shit coins every day, right? So that's why I think it's gonna be a lot harder to like have similar performance like something that happened 6 months ago, especially at the current market. But you guys are not gonna be launching for another month or two, right? Another couple months. So maybe by then it's going to pick back up. So we don't know about that. Most likely, hopefully this is the bottom. The bottom will be found soon, and we'll be going back up. But the thing is, just from history, just by looking at these types of numbers where investors get multiple X's even at pre-sale price, it doesn't really end well for long-term holders. And the thing is, if long-term holders don't think it's a good buy, who's going to be buying it? The only way to get a pump is you have people come in after launch, investors, and they're like, well, this, even though it's already up 5x, 10x, it's still a good price because I think it's going to go up to 100x.
You are missing the fact that we don't necessarily want to bring the crypto investors as players into the space. So a lot of mainstream players, they don't even know what a wallet is. And that is simply our goal, to bring as many players as possible into buying these tokens, people that are new into the space, that will be simply, enjoying the game and spend the MinionVerse token in the in-game items. And those are not the degens, those are not the crypto holders. They don't invest in the token. They simply play and spend the token to be the best in the game, not by investing in the token and holding it, but by actually playing the game.
Yeah.
And so we're not a shitcoin where
But the thing is, we're not even buying into the company itself. So even if you guys make a ton of money off of whales, buying gems, buying gold, how are we going to see that as an investor?
You see the 30% burned, and you will see those transactions on the blockchain.
Yeah, but if 30% is being burned while 2% of the whole supply is being released every month, that sell pressure is still going to be a lot higher than the buy pressure. Let me tell you that.
The instant that the investor is going to see that the team is going to sell into tokens, they're going to dump. So if you look closely into the Alti arena, the team's tokens largely, I would say 95% is still there. We haven't sold, even the marketing wallet and everything. So so historically, we have proven that even if they are unlocked, we haven't sold. And that's, if you want to dig into the past, then it's there. And also there's the fact that there's a 50%, so there's a circulation of tokens, right? So 15% will go to treasury managed by a DAO, and then 40% will go back into the game as rewards for the players. So it all stays within the player base, essentially, most of the tokens. And so if you deduct that 30% that will go into the burns, then most of the tokens will end up being at the hands of the players anyway.
Yeah, but so I just want to help you out. I mean, if you guys are not planning to sell your team tokens or use some of the other tokens, then why even have them? I say offer them more tokens to investors.
So those team tokens are not simply for the team, but we also look into the future where there are tons of projects out there like StepN, right? That all raise venture capital financing after they have launched the token. So those team tokens may as well end up in the hands of the venture capitals of the Animoca brands, or like A16Z, right, and Three Arrows Capital. I'm sorry, not Three Arrows because they are bankrupt. But bringing 2 more games will mean that we will have to spend anywhere between $2 to $3 million to make those games. Where are we gonna have those cash or the stable from the venture capitals? And so those team tokens, they are not necessarily team tokens. Like maybe a larger part of it will end up in the hands of the venture capitals, but those tokens will be vested for the 2-year, 3-year, 4-year period, and that's standard term for all the VCs. And I think that and that's it's a normal thing to do in order to have the project ongoing, is to sell those tokens to venture capitals. Like,
yeah, but that means that they're gonna be dumping them too, because the venture capitals have to get their money out of it somehow.
Yes, but they will get in on different terms, so the price will probably be higher than pre-sales, and the vesting period will be longer, probably 2 years from the moment we raise. So from the moment we raise could be like 6 months or 1 year, and it could be well into 3-4 years if there's a lot more money. And I think that a lot of the investors, crypto investors, a lot of groups and telegrams, like I would say all of those popular tokens out there, including the infamous Terra Luna, they were actually largely loaned by the venture capitals. And Pantera Capital, for example, they invested $1 million into the Luna token, and they got out at $100 million. So they had like $99 million of profit. Binance, they invested like $3 million. It was actually worth like, I don't know, $1 billion or something like that in Luna tokens, but they didn't sell. So CZ didn't sell, so he lost. But I think that it is worth mentioning is how do projects survive is to fundraise from venture capitals, and of course they're gonna make money, but there are other ways for keeping the token or liquidating the positions, right? You could use market makers. And so you hype up the token, you bring more new investors simply because they're going to see a beautiful chart, and you liquidate the tokens in a way that doesn't hurt the chart or the price using the market makers. And so I think everyone does that. I mean, but simply it's not seen, but everyone does that.
All right, so I have one more question, and then I have a lot of questions, but we don't really have the time for that. So,
sure.
and then after that, I'll open it to the community for questions. So, one thing we didn't discuss is that huge percentage of tokens is that 49.5% for play to earn and staking. And can you explain how that will work? So you will have a staking, like a fixed APY for the tokens, because that's a huge percentage to give to staking. That's like basically minting tokens in a way, because people stake, they get free tokens, they could sell the tokens, and a lot of times after a while, that's what causes the price to decrease in a project, because those staking tokens are getting released and then they get sold. So, and there's also, you said play to earn. So can you explain to me what the 50% or the 49.5% of the supply is?
Sure. As mentioned, you play the leagues or the tournaments, you can earn the tokens by being the best. You will also be able to earn those tokens by being in the top 10 of the ranks of players. So there is some elements of play to earn there, but it will be very limited. So it doesn't mean that for every battle that you PvP, you will earn the MinionVerse tokens. It is only based on your skill level and how well you participate in tournaments. So the amount of the token will be for a very long run. So that's why 49% at least is reserved there, because there's we want the game to be alive as long as possible. Also, there's 2 more games, so it does mean that there will be even more, let's say, flow of the token in those 3 games. Staking, farming, we haven't decided yet on the APYs. We could as well have PancakeSwap auctions for the farms of the token. Use their farms to allow our investors to farm the MinionVerse token. In terms of APY or APR, it won't be too crazy, I guess. Well, it's 70-80% to start off with, to up until 20%, depending on how many people stake and farm the token. And yes, staking is essentially giving people a way to earn the tokens, but it is also a way to keep those tokens illiquid. I mean, lock them up for a period of time, and allowing for the price movements during that time is dependent. I think it is why staking was invented, I think.
It's to incentivize holders from selling, but at the end of the day, they will end up selling eventually.
They will end up selling, but it will give us time to bring more players or new people buying the token into the space.
Yeah, that's kind of the gamble. That's the way it should be. But if you, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like sometimes people end up dumping and even more tokens than they had because of staking. And then that's why all these really high stake APYs, they don't work, because it just kills the price. Because it's like, well,
of course,
devs use it to scam. They're like, well, you have to stake for 7 days, and of course they're gonna rug it at 6 days, right before everyone gets their tokens unlocked. I've seen that happen so many times.
Yeah.
All right, so honestly, man, I think I could help you guys out with the numbers, because honestly, have you had any kind of advice for these tokenomics? Has anyone helped you out with this?
We have look. I'm advising this other project, and we raised. That project is totally different from this one. So that project raised tons of money from venture capitals, not from pre-sales, but from venture capitals. So and during the time we talked with a lot of VCs and advisors and everyone in the space as well. So there's some numbers which are pretty standard. Like you do look at DAOmaker or Polka Starter, all those launch pads, and they have very similar tokenomics. Like there's always 15% goes to the team, and then at least 50% goes to the community, and so on and so forth. So we kind of took this template, but yeah, of course we are open for feedback. So we still have our private Telegram chat. So if you could provide us with any feedbacks, that's all appreciated.
Yeah, because honestly, I think you guys make it more attractive to investors, and the reason why I think you're doing good right now, which is I'm actually impressed with the amount raised so far. Right, let's see, where is it? Yeah, the 238,000 BUSD. But you got to think about it. You're offering them a 3x versus launch, right? And you offer the earlier guys 6x. Because if we had this AMA right now at IDO price or at launch price, it would go a lot differently than it is right now. We were like, there's no way we were going to invest into this project, at when people got 6. And then I had this happen actually multiple times, like I said before, where previous guys had 6x, 5x, whatever it was, even 8x. And the guys are trying to argue with me how, oh, it's their friends, they're not going to sell, it's family members. And every single time, literally the price dumped like crazy. It didn't even like get even 1.1x. It literally dumped as soon as it launched. And even like Vagabond, they're claiming to be Fortune 500 CEOs and blah, 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 that raised $8 million. Their token, they were selling it at 10 cents like a month prior. And then when we had an AMA, they were selling it at 50 cents. We're like probably the only lounge that didn't buy because I thought it was bullshit. And guess what happened? As soon as they launched, they didn't even launch it at 60 cents like promised. It was at 30 cents. So pre-sale never even was even able to break even. And now it's like 5 cents, 10 cents, which is basically even below what the private sale guys got. And this is like a multi-million-dollar project too. So honestly, you guys need to make it attractive to investors. And I kind of see why it would fail right now because of net thinking is going to be 3x, 4x from launch. But when you're going to be doing AMAs, when it at IDO prices around that time, I think it's going to be even harder to get it filled. You know what I mean? Because right now it's very expensive.
Well, the price is one thing, but how much tokens we're going to sell is another thing.
Well, right now I could buy as many tokens as I want. Yes, 10,000 BUSD is the max, but I could have 5 wallets. I could literally finish the pre-sale right now. Or the private sale.
But for the pre-sale too, IDO we'll be looking at how the market reacts. So we'll be lowering the hard caps. It will be actually lowered.
Yeah, so but you get my point, right? If we were having this AMA at the time as a raise, I would like. There's no way. I'll be nice. I'll be trying to be as nice as possible. I'm like, I would never invest into this. When we have 300K at 2 cents, 100K at 1 cent, this I don't know whatever at 3 cents, and now you want me to pay 65. It's kind of like I said, like buying an all-time high before even it launches.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I mean, we'll be doing different AMAs.
Yeah, but I'm not the only investor that thinks this. I'm pretty sure anyone that is trying to make money in this space is going to see this. I mean, maybe they won't. That's why, like the other project, like I said, Vagabond, we're the only lounge that didn't participate, and we're the only lounge that didn't lose any money. Like everyone else lost a ton of money from that project because they bought it in at 50 cents and it's launched at 30 cents and never even seen 30 cents after that. It went straight down to 20, then 15, 10. But like, yeah, so I mean, everyone here is trying to make money, right? So just to like help you out, I say like I think changing the numbers around would make it a lot more attractive to investors. And it's up to you. Like, I mean, I could help with that because I feel like you definitely need to provide a lot more tokens to the guys that are funding your project. The 1 million that you're trying to collect, like you only giving them what, like 4.5%. That's like change. That's like pennies,
Right.
So
right.
I think for investors to support you, you really need to basically give them an offer they can't refuse in a way, So like I said, yes, it's easier to fill the first two because they're getting such huge incentives, but also incentives will also backfire on you because later on the people are like, well, these guys got incentives. How come I don't get any? I don't want to buy it at 6 cents when I could have bought it at 2 cents. You know what I mean? So it'll be a lot harder to continue raising these pre-sales with the higher price. And then at launch too, like before, you guys had this, it launched in September. You said it went like 10x. And yeah, that's the time when everyone was getting sniped. All the projects were getting sniped like crazy, right? Like people had like thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're sniping with like 500 BNB buys. And then that's why you see that huge daily chart, the wick, it went up and then it instantly went down because the sniper sniped and then instantly sold. And before, like, all the other guys could buy in at launch, and then I never seen that all-time high again. So I say, like, I know we could talk about this in private, but I feel like you could definitely make this a lot more attractive to investors, especially like the later stages, because I feel it'd be a hard sell at 3 cents and 4 cents and 6.5 cents. And also knowing the fact that the team is like everyone, you're going to have marketing tokens, you're going to have all these huge percentages unlocked every month.
Yeah, happy to discuss further.
Yeah, and so yeah, this is a really long AMA, but like I'm glad we're having this discussion because you know, I think you guys definitely could get a little bit of input. And so let's open up to more community questions. I know we had some guys in here asking questions earlier. I don't know if I can find it. Anyone has any questions? Let's just start all over. So if you have any questions, please post them right now or speak up in voice chat. Because I'm not even kidding. I literally sold off like 40 BNB into BUSD because first of all, I wanted to sell it anyways because I think BNB is going to go down again. And also because I wanted to have some ready for this pre-sale. But like the numbers, like to me, you know, it's a little risky. Like would I put in 50 grand right now? I don't know. Not especially when, you know, like we talked about, like team and community and all these people are going to be getting all these tokens every month. Maybe for a pre-sale pump, but the thing is, if I'm just going to do pre-sale pump and dump, then it's like, why even market this project as a long-term project? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, you know, happy to hear your feedbacks in the private.
Yeah. Anyone else has any questions, guys? By the way, have you had AMA with Ninja Lounge?
No, we haven't.
Oh, because he was in here earlier. No, it's saying good stuff about you guys. No, Ninja Lounge was here, the owner.
Okay.
Let me go see if I can find some questions. They're probably like answered already because some people had concerns about the 3x, 6x, stuff like that. Let's see where else. And also about venture capitals. Venture capitals. The thing is, with projects like this, and you know, with market cap, liquidity, someone has to lose, right? Not everyone's going to make money. Like, if for you to make money, someone has to lose money. And venture capitals, they work the same way. So if you have some huge venture capitals and they expect to make their money back, that means they'll probably wreck everyone else. And I've seen this happen in projects where supposedly, like, there's a venture capital guy, he just dumps the chart because he wants to get his money out. And they're like, well, we didn't scam. It was the venture capital guy that literally sold 10% of all the token supply. You know, so it's a double-edged sword. Yes, they could help you. They could fund your token, but then they probably end up killing the chart anyways, and you'll never get investors after that point. That's why I'm a little bit of careful with also with talking to venture capitals for my projects.
And it's tricky. We had that, so we know the pain.
Yeah, because honestly, you know, like if I could give you $1 million and I'm like, well, I'm going to be guaranteed to sell it for $2 million. Well, of course I'd do it, right? Who wouldn't?
Well, look, you know, it all depends on. Well, Terra had it, like Luna, right? So they had the venture capital, the big ones. It all depends how, let's say, charismatic the CEO is, how good the product is. But let's say mostly in the crypto space, it is how charismatic and how much of the marketing chest you have in order to market the token out there. And so, you know, it all depends on how well spent the money from venture capital is. Obviously, you know, they will get money, but people that are getting into the top, you know, without understanding the space, will get wrecked. And I think that, you know, as the time goes, it will be harder and harder for the projects to and for the venture capitals to succeed, especially after the Luna episode.
Yeah,
where,
I think even right now it's a lot harder. That's why it's a lot harder to raise pre-sale, because all those degens, like I said, they're not aping into every shitcoin anymore. You know, they don't have any money. They lost all their money already. They got rugged multiple times. All the money right now is currently in the hands of scammers, and the developers that also do good projects, and the investors that know what they're doing. All those, you know, degens, they're pretty much done. They don't have any more money left. That's why it's a lot harder now to fill pre-sales, especially if there's a lot of holes or a lot of shady things going on, you know, with the contract, with the devs, with the numbers, things like that. So I think it's a lot harder for like a shit project to do well, but it's also a lot harder for a good project to do well, because there's just not enough money to go around anymore from all the potential investors. So it's like you have to literally work twice as hard or 3 times as hard now than you had to do, you know, a couple months ago, just to even raise the same amount of funds.
I think that it was the same with startups in 2001, 2002.
Yeah. .com boom, basically. Yep, same thing.
.com, you know, right? And then you could just fundraise with a PowerPoint presentation. It was the same thing. Like at the beginning, it was super easy to fundraise, and then as more people get into the startup thing and pitch to the VCs, it's gonna be the same here. Like to actually
it gets more and more saturated.
Is gonna get more saturated, and you actually have to have experience and skills and team and product working to be able to fundraise anything. It is. I guess it is a good sign, though, is that, you know, the space is maturing. Of course, there will be less speculation and less room for you know, for instant 10x, but it will also mean that projects will get more you know, disciplined.
Yeah, I think it's going from a quick pump and dumps to long-term projects. But the thing is, here's my real point why I have issues with some of these numbers. It's because now we're looking at long-term projects. Pump and dumps, there's pretty much overall meme coins are done. And, you know, especially with your game, and you have another game coming out. For someone to even care about the fact that you have a game 2 and game 3, they have to make sure that your token is viable for the long term. Right? Like if I want to, you know, buy pre-sale and sell it in the first pump or the first hour or so, I don't care if you're gonna have a game 2 and 3 coming out in, you know, in 3 months. But if I'm investing for the long time, for the long period, I actually want to hold your project to $1 billion market cap plus, I have to be convinced that the project is viable for a long-term hold. And for it to be viable for a long-term hold, all your tokens, everything has to be locked in. Like the whole, you know, team advisors, all those percentages, that's a very big red flags for long-term holders. You know what I mean? That's why I really talk about this, because it's very important. For long-term holders, you want to provide as much as possible tokens to the investors, like 4.5% or 5% total, whatever. That's a very small amount. Because for the investors, they want to believe in you. They want to get a good price, right? They want to get a good price at launch or a pre-sale. And they're like, well, it's going to go 100x. So yeah, maybe it'll go 100x from a 300 market cap, but you think it's going to go 100x from a $65 million valuation? That's really, you know, shooting for a lottery here at that point, right? So that's why I wanted to, you know, you guys to kind of look at the numbers again, and I think it'll go a long way for you to maybe change some things. And of course, like I said, we can talk about this later. But like, if you want to market your project as a long-term hold project, like an actual serious project, you want the numbers and everything else has to basically kind of match that.
Yeah. So we'll look into that. You will see some updates, but let's talk first.
Yeah. But for now, you know, I like the concept. I like the game. Like, it seems like it's one of those. It's almost like an idle type of game, but you do have to like make your choices of when to, call in the unit, stuff like that.
I mean, it's kind of auto battle. It doesn't require a lot of like action, but it
Yeah, and
does.
see, and that's
require
another thing about like games, like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, is because even though those games are very simple in a way, there's actually a lot of skill involved. Like when do you call it? What do you place for your wizard? Where do you place your archers? Or what time do you call them in? Do you call them in after the hog has crossed the river? When do you place your towers to defend? Or do you place it after the hog started attacking your tower, so your tower could tank? Or do you place it before, so the Tesla tower is gonna kind of tank for your you know what I mean? There's so many like small details and nuances and skills. But if it's like that's kind of another reason why it motivates people to pay money, because they have the tournaments where it's skill based, and why people watch it on stream, on Twitch TV, is because it's skill-based system. But I feel that if it's like a more like a automatic type of thing, people won't really be watching it. The whole esports thing is not going to be there, so it's a lot harder to market
esports.
it to the whales, right? Like, oh, why am I going to spend $10,000 to be the best player if it doesn't mean anything, because like there's no skill involved? You know what I mean? Like, it's something to think about.
It's more on towards the RPG kind of players to
Yeah.
hoard the best NFTs, the best cards. It's not kind of like competitive CS:GO, League of Legends kind of style, but more like Diablo or like World of Warcraft, where I have the best items. So yeah, we actually have an AMA in half an hour.
Okay, let's wrap it up. So how about this, guys? Okay, everyone that's in here, by the way, quick question about your Telegram. I see you have like 40,000, 53,000 members. Is it the same Telegram that you use for Ulti Arena?
No, that's two different.
Okay. And okay, so of course we'll keep in discussion and keep in talks. You still have a long time, still a couple months before launch. You have other 2 pre-sales coming up, so there's still a lot of room to tweak things and get things, I think, just right. I think it's very important.
I appreciate that. Those are very insightful.
Everything's sustainable.
Yeah. So, quick thought, is we look at numbers, probably reduce the number of total tokens, and then and that would mean that the percentages for the pre-sales will go up, because there will be less tokens in total maximum supply, as well as there's going to be less tokens for everything else. So those percentages for the pre will go up.
Because if you get more percentage of tokens to all the pre-sales, then your diluted market cap goes down. And that actually makes it more worth it for me, because I feel like, if I'm going to buy like 0.5% of the whole supply with, like 10 BNB or whatever it is, so if they go to a billion market cap, that's a lot of money. But if it's like, I'm going to buy like 0.0001% of a supply with 10 BNB, it's like, I'm not going to get any money out of it. Like, why should I even invest? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the fully diluted market cap will probably go down after the fixes. But let's talk about that. Great insight though, and so that's why I appreciate this AMA, is because we're actually getting some feedback from the tokenomics side, which is super important.
Yeah, exactly. Because I definitely want you guys to succeed. And just the top of my head, the kind of numbers that I'm thinking of that you want to probably be looking at to make this like solid is you want at least 50%, I would say, from all the pre-sales, IDOs, everything. Instead of 4.5%, it should probably be like 50%, because that's the most important stuff. All the other things like community team tokens, 5% here, 10% there, that part. So the thing is, even if those tokens do get sold, it won't really affect the chart as much, because if 50% of your tokens are going to go to pre-sale plus liquidity, and let's say your liquidity percentage is 80%, that means you have about like 30 or so percent of your tokens into liquidity. So even if someone dumps, like let's say team just dumps 10% immediately, like it's not gonna wreck the chart. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, the value of a project is only as valuable as the liquidity. If you have a market cap of $70 million, but your liquidity is only like 100K, then your project is only worth 100K. You know, because that's just the cash in the project. So someone's going to sell 100K worth of tokens, and boom, your project's worthless. Doesn't matter. Your market cap will go from 65 million to 50K.
Yeah, I get it. I have some few points to discuss there, but yeah, let's talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk about this. Yeah. Cool. So you guys want to do like everyone that's in here, guys, we're going to be doing a giveaway after the AMA. And if you win, you're going to have to be basically everyone join the Telegram, say hi, say you're from Anti-Ruggers, say something about the AMA. And basically you have to be in that Telegram to be eligible. And yeah, so you guys could do like a conclusion, like give us a final statement. I'll end the recording and then we'll be doing the giveaways.
All right. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining. The most important thing for me is that you will enjoy the game, and hopefully that you will, would just not be just investing in the token itself, but also investing your time in the game to get to know the game, and hopefully that you will like it and refer it to your friends. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, man, and thanks for coming here. Like, it's enjoyable AMA. I hope we could help you out, and good luck on the pre-sale. Good luck on the next pre-sales, and at launch. I'm definitely going to be keeping tabs in this project, and very curious to see how it goes. And yeah, I hope you guys succeed. So good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.